So I've been asked, what does it mean to pay yourself first? Where do I start? And how do I determine what to pay myself? And what does pay yourself even look like? So for today's Wealth of Wisdom conversation, I'm going to be breaking down what pay yourself actually means, why most people never do it, and how to start even if you think you don't have enough. And I'm going to make it very simple because this is one of the most important financial habits that you'll ever build. Give this episode a thumbs up, share this with as many people as you know, check it out and let me know what you think. So paying yourself first has always been something that I live by, something that I was taught to do ever since I got my first job at age 15. I've always been taught that if you go to work every week, you get paid, you pay your bills, you handle your responsibility. At the end of all of that, what did you get? Not your landlord, not your car note, not your subscription, but what did you keep? Because a lot of people are working, but they're not benefiting from their own labor. Because if your money is touching everybody else before it touches you, you're not building anything. You're just maintaining survival. So when I'm asked, what does it actually mean to pay myself first? My answer is this. Before your money goes to everything and everyone else, you make sure that you are the recipient of your own income. Because right now, most people are wired like this. They get paid, they pay bills, they spend what's left, and they save what's remaining, maybe. So paying yourself first flips that narrative and that way of thinking, because paying yourself first is deeper than money. It's saying I matter. I'm going to protect me, and I'm going to compensate me for my labor and my sacrifice. Because if you work 8, 10, 12 hours a day and you're not the recipient of your own labor, that's not a money issue. That's an indicator that your money needs to be restructured. And oftentimes, this is why most people don't pay themselves first. It's because their money is missing a framework and they don't know their numbers. So before you pay yourself first, you gotta know your numbers, because paying yourself first isn't just a magical number you randomly come up with. That's why I always say get those numbers out of your head and onto paper. Because you have to determine what's remaining so that you can identify, this is what I'm going to use to pay myself first every payday. So to start, plug in your numbers and plug in your take-home pay. Start plugging in your monthly expenses so you can see, where do I stand with my monthly obligations? Because that subtracted from your monthly income is what's remaining. And with what's remaining, that's your starting point of what you'll use to pay yourself first. So if you have $500 left over at the end of the month, that's your pay yourself first number. So if I'm paid twice a month, then every payday, $250 is automatically taken out of my paycheck and is getting deposited into my high yield savings account. If I have $150 left over at the end of every month, then every pay period, if I'm paid twice a month, every pay period, $75 is automatically taken out of my paycheck and is getting deposited into my high yield savings account. Because here's the thing, you're not going to be at that number always. You're not always going to be at $150 a month that you can afford to pay yourself first with what's remaining. Because as you're paying off consumer debt and gaining control over your finances, then that money that used to go out is now staying with you. So that $150 a month that you were using to pay yourself first, now just turned into $300 that you're now using to pay yourself first. So once I determine my number, I automate it, and this is where most people mess up. They try to remember to manually transfer that amount. Because if your rent and your mortgage is on auto pay, your water, your gas bill, your electricity bill, your car insurance, or your car payment, if all of that is on auto pay, then paying yourself first should be on auto pay as well, going straight into your high yield savings account. And paying yourself first is two parts for it to be complete, because the second part is contributing to your job's retirement plan. And if they don't have one, open up your own individual retirement account, because doing this now covers your future so that you're not forced to work forever. And the reason why I believe you got to do both is having your number come out of your paycheck and going into your high yield savings account that covers your short term, and working it on the retirement end covers your long term. So you're covering yourself short term, 6 to 12 months from now, and you're covering yourself long term for when it's time for you to retire. You have enough to cover you and to protect you later in life, because you have to make sure that you cover life on both sides. Paying yourself first is all about valuing you, covering you, building discipline, and making sure you're the recipient of your hard work. And far too often people want things to show their hard work, and this is why they say most people buy their wants and beg for their needs. Because if something happens today or tomorrow, that car, them bags, that shoes, that watch ain't gonna do nothing for you. I had a client one time, and after we were done ironing things out and ironing out her monthly obligations and her monthly income, all she can afford was to pay herself $150 a month, because that's what she had remaining. And as she got some things paid off, and as she got a job promotion and her pay increased, that $150 turned into $200, then $300. And now she's able to pay herself first $500 a month. But she started from where she was. She got serious about paying off her debt. She submitted for a job promotion, and she was able to increase what she paid herself first by looking at her numbers, cutting out on unnecessary spending, canceling unused or barely used monthly subscriptions. She scaled back on eating out so much so that she can gain control of her money. So we have to start giving ourselves permission to be the recipient of our hard work and labor, because on average, we work 2,000 hours or more in a year. We got to start getting a mindset of I refuse to work 2,000 hours or more in a year, and all of my labor and my income goes to everyone else and to everything else except for me. We have to get conditioned to restructuring our finances so it can serve us in our most vulnerable moments. I always want the posture of my money to be that of a faithful servant. So when famine comes, the posture of my money says, how may I serve you? It's there to serve me during famine. It's there to serve me when I'm laid off. It's there to serve me when I'm out sick or I'm out for a major surgery. The posture of my money will not be scarcity. It will always be that of abundance. Now, let me say this. Just because I say to always pay yourself first does not mean that I'm also saying not to tithe or that I don't tithe. Paying yourself first doesn't cancel or compete with giving or tithing. Paying yourself first answers the question of, how do I build stability and avoid living paycheck to paycheck? It's about stewardship, it's about discipline, it's about sustainability. But because the word first is inserted, it makes people hypersensitive into hearing, or perhaps hearing me say to put yourself above God. Paying yourself first isn't about putting yourself above God. It's about not neglecting your responsibility to manage what God gave you. It's about prioritizing saving over spending. God is first in my heart. Therefore, I honor God by giving my tithe. Stewardship is first in my financial habits. That's why I pay myself first. Hey family, I hope you enjoyed today's Wealth and Wisdom conversation as I broke down to explain how to pay yourself first. Make sure you get those numbers out of your head and onto paper. And our monthly budget tracker helps you to do that. Start with your numbers. Don't overthink it. Determine your number. Automate your number so you can begin building the financial life you've always wanted. I'll be dropping more episodes like this every Wednesday. Always remember, your mindset is the key to unlocking your financial freedom. It's time to leave behind what's comfortable for what's possible. All we have is now. So start now. See y'all next week.